Hi everyone, Jesse here with etrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at, and I'll show you how to install the Roadmaster Diode Kit on our 2016 Jeep Patriot. The diodes themselves actually install behind our taillights, so it's going to be kind of tough to see, but you'll see what they look like during the installation process. But essentially they're going to tie into your factory taillight wiring on your vehicle, and the diodes are there to prevent any backfeed, to prevent any damage to your wiring. The installation process is pretty simple. It's just a matter of running some wires from the front of the vehicle to the back of it, making some connections to tie into your factory wiring. So if it's not something that you're looking to do yourself, maybe you're just not comfortable with doing wiring, please feel free to check out our dealer locator to find somebody local to you that would be happy to help you out with that. If you have installed this before and you just want to share your experience with us, or maybe some tips or tricks, please feel free to leave a review or a comment. But otherwise, if you're looking to see how this gets installed, just follow along and I'll walk you through it. We'll start our installation by first running our wire from where we plan on mounting our 6-pole, which I just electrical taped here with a bit of slack so we can hook that up last. We're going to run it behind our bumper here and then up into the engine bay behind our headlight. At this point, what I've done is I cut our white wire. First you want to make sure you can reach a ground. We actually have a factory ground right here. But I cut our white wire, crimped the ring terminal on that, which I'll install onto this ground here. Then with the rest of the white wire, I'll peel it off of the other 3 wires, and we'll have to use that on the rear of the vehicle to connect our 2 taillights together. So once you ground out your white wire, the other 3 wires need to run back to the taillights. So what I did was from our engine bay, I just pulled down this wheel well liner. There's a few push pin fasteners holding it in. That way I could tuck our wiring up inside it. I came out right here, and from here I just followed our brake lines back and got to where our fuel tank is, kind of tucked it up over these hoses here and brought it out to the center of our frame. When I got here, what I did was split our green wire from the brown and yellow. The green wire is going to go to our passenger side, and the brown and yellow will go to our driver's side taillights. Now with our taillights, we'll need to remove these because we'll need to get access to the wiring and all that. So it's simply held in by a couple push pin fasteners. Just pop the center out, get that whole thing to come out. And once those are out, there's just a couple clips on the front holding it in. So if you firmly pull it out, it should come out. And yours may look a little different than ours. We have some trailer wiring hooked up to it, but we're going to focus on our factory wiring anyways. So I'll get that unplugged so we can set our taillight aside. Just simply pull back on that red locking tab, push the pin, and pull. And the same thing with this top one. Now we need to test our wires to figure out which wires we'll be splicing into. So what I did was I used my test light, had the taillights on. I found out that the white and violet wire is our taillight signal. It's actually the same color on both our left side and right side. And then I turned the blinker on, or not the blinker, the brakes. Found our brake light signal is this green and red wire. So those are the 2 wires on this side that we'll splice into. So what we'll need to do is cut them right about in the middle here. We're going to need some slack to tuck our diodes back. We'll cut them, then strip them, and each one of these wires will get its own spade terminal, and then we'll tie in our diodes to those. Now we can plug in our diodes. We'll make sure that the outside, it also is the one with the 1 terminal on it. That's going to go closest to our plug. And then we're just matching up colors. So this is the green and red. That's going to be that diode. And then our other diode will be our taillight. Plug that into the out and in. Now we fished our yellow and brown wire and also that white wire that I talked about earlier up into our taillight pocket here. I just used a piece of airline tubing, taped it on, and ran it up. But from here, we'll just cut off some of the slack. And then we'll strip them back and Essentially the same process, except for with our taillight signal. You'll see there's a larger spade terminal. That's because we're going to take not only the brown wire, but also tie in the white wire. So just twist them together and then tie them in there. And then that white wire will run to the other taillight. It's a similar process with the passenger side. We ran our white wire and our green wire up through our pocket here. The white wire is our tail light, as you know, and that's our white and violet. Then the green is our right turn / brake. That's going to be our white and yellow wires. Once these are all hooked up, we can plug back in our tail light, just kind of loosely put it into its place, and then we'll hook up our 6-pole and then start testing. Got a wire into our 6-pole. We'll have to match everything up. So our white goes to our ground. That's going to say GD. Yellow is for left turn. That'll say LT. Green is right turn. That'll say RT. And brown is our taillights, which is actually TM. So the way we make these connections is there's simply a Phillips screw. Just back it off just enough to fit your wire in, and twist your wire. Push it in, and then you'll tighten down that screw, and that'll make our connection. Now we have our 6-pole hooked up into our test box. We'll just run through all of our lights, starting with the tail lights. Then we have left turn, our brake lights, and our right turn. And that's going to do it for our look at and installation of the Roadmaster Diode Kit on our 2016 Jeep Patriot.